Let's go. It's the retro philosophy show. You know, let's go. Tell them already we're good, tell them again. Tell them already we're good, tell them again. Conquerors, we're more than conquerors. Wow. Tell them already we are good, tell them again. Tell them already we are good, tell them again.
I said, no, I'm not. I'm trying to get to where I need to go. And he was like, I am having problems keeping my truck on the road. I can't imagine you doing it. And you know what? I've been on 10 so many times. I have never seen, it was so many overturned tractor trailers on that road. And also, too, it's not just the road, but if you need, I said, now I need to get gas. But I had to also figure out which off-ramp I'm going to use, because off-ramps can even be worse, because they got that angle. So the first one I see, I'm like, nah, I didn't try that. So I'm going over these bridges, and when you're doing ice, I've never touched my throttle more than with 2 fingers. Every time I'm riding, whatever speed I'm going, I'm always down.
Let's go. It's the retro philosophy show. You know, let's go. Tell them already we're good, tell them again. Tell them already we're good, tell them again. Them are conquerors, we're more than conquerors. Wow.
Y'all make sure y'all check out the Retro Philosophy
Show
on YouTube with my man Retro. Like, subscribe, comment, share, copy the link, put it on Instagram in your bio, put it on your Facebook page. Send it to your mama, text it to somebody. But y'all make sure y'all follow this page, Retro Philosophy.
So you're a philosopher? Yes.
Good evening, good morning, good night, good day. It's your boy Retro. Thank you for pressing play.
No one knows my struggle. They don't know my trouble.
So you're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deeply.
I need just a little more Jesus.
Sheldon, start up the mic then! Start up the mic then, no! Sheldon, start up the mic then!
None of them. A big man. And I go on like you are the man. You are the man. I'm God of the man.
Say, man, you know what it is, man. Special guest in the building. Much love and respect to my man Retro stopping through, y'all. Y'all know what to do.
Big Cell. You still keeping it 100.
I think very deeply.
Yes, indeed. Everybody, including my homegirl. Wait a minute, what's up with Lottie Dottie? Where Lottie Dottie at?
You already know what it is. It's your own girl, Lottie Dottie. I'm in the building hanging out with Retro, and he ain't never lying.
Thank you for that introduction, Lottie Dottie. We appreciate you so very much. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Retro with you on today. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. Where y'all at on today? Where's everybody at on today? Say hello, say what's up to your boy as you come into the room. I'm just saying. You know, God has been better to me than I've been to myself. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some proper drop of noise for my man Richard Blackwell in the building. What's going on, Richard? I hope all is well with you, brother. I mean to tell you, God is good, not sometimes, but he's good all of the time. Anybody else know that he's good all of the time? If you know he's good all the time, I need you to make some noise in the comment section because, you know, God's been so very good. Yeah, he's been so good, so good. And so we're grateful on this morning. Look at here, man. We just gonna jump right in here and talk about it so I can get on out the way. As you can see, man, check out my man. Check out my man. You already know. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Gorilla Blue, ladies and gentlemen, aka the highway burglar, gonna be in the building this upcoming Monday. All right. So when I tell you you are in for a treat and a heck of a show, make sure you tune in next Monday. Just got off the phone with my man, going over a few things, just chit chatting, man. Dude, you guys ain't ready for this. I'm just putting that out there. You ain't ready for this. But get ready, because it's going down this coming Monday, ladies and gentlemen. It's going down big time right here on the Retro Philosophy Show. And we're going to talk about the highway burglar and highway robbery. Okay, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. But since it's not Monday yet, it's not Monday, we're just going to go ahead and pause. But make sure you guys check us out this coming Monday. The interview is going to be off of the chain. The Retro Philosophy Show this coming Monday. Meet Gorilla Blue, a.k.a. the Highway Burglar, right here on the Retro Philosophy Show. Catch us live on Facebook or YouTube. If you have not already gone over to the YouTube channel to like and subscribe, you need to do that ASAP, right? Now, without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop right in here. I want you guys to take a good look at my shirt, okay? Okay, take a good look. I do what I want, when I want, where I want, okay? Yeah, if you don't know, you better ask somebody. I do what I want, when I want, where I want, okay? You know why? Because we all grown. But what you cannot see, ladies and gentlemen, is the rest of the shirt. Except I got to ask my wife first. I do what I want, when I want, but I got to ask the wife first. I got to ask the wife first. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's a joke, okay? I do not do what I want, when I want, and all that stuff. Now, once upon a time, that was the thought, that was the process of thinking. But guess what happens? In life, we grow up. Ah, man, y'all ain't gonna say nothing to me today? Okay, I got you. Let me do this. Boom. 980-222-4492. Now, that's the number that connects you, you to me and me to you, and all that good stuff, so we can chit chat about this whole situation right here. Because if you do whatever you want, when you want, and all that stuff, because you grown, and you know, folks will tell you real quick, you ain't the boss of me, and boy, look at here. When folk go to telling you how grown they is, just you know, ain't much more you can do at that point. I'm just saying, ain't much more you can do at that point. You just gotta let folks be. My mama. We gotta get Edna on the Retro Philosophy Show. For y'all who don't know, that's my mother, and she is an awesome woman of God, awesome woman, awesome mother, awesome person. Now she a little cray now. I'll be the first one to tell you. You know, folks be, how your mom do? She's still crazy. She's still crazy. I love me some Edna. That's my mama, okay? Affectionately known as Grammy, the Grammys. But she taught me so much stuff growing up down through the years, you know. She did a great job by the grace of God. What I'm probably most grateful for is her ability to get into the face of God on behalf of her children. If it had not been for the prayers of my mother, where was it? It was last night during Bible study. If you did not catch our Bible study, go check it out, upperpraiseministries.com. You can go find us here on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube, Upper Praise Ministries. But anyway, I was sharing a part of the testimony I had a situation I was going through as a teenager, and I had made up in my mind I was going to go a certain direction. My mother was aware of what was going on, and she had knew it was at the point where she could no longer, direct me because I was grown and I was going to do what I was going to do. But she kept on praying, and she would always tell me, so every now and then she would ask me about the situation, and she would say, "Just leave it to God. If you live by the sword, you die by the sword." That's what she kept on telling me. And so my point is, she was a praying mother. My aunt, Evangelist Bridges, a praying woman of God. And the two of these women were on the job. They understood the assignment. They were praying for your boy. And and I never forget that night. It was about maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe a little later than that. And I had the opportunity presented itself, and I was gonna cash in. I was gonna make it do what the doggone thing got to do. You hear what I'm telling you? And God spoke that night. Dude, I ain't gonna tell you the rest. I'll share the rest of that story and the newly created group, private group that is Retro's Philosophy. Yeah, because that's a platform that we have just created, and we're getting ready to start filling it with content. Stories will be told there. When I say stories, I'm not talking about stories full of lies. I'm just talking about okay. I'm gonna be telling it all right there. The Retro Philosophy on Retro's Philosophy. But it's such a detailed testimony. I don't have time, and nor is this the platform for it. But the point of it was that my mother was a praying woman, okay? And she would often say, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword, okay? So you can't do whatever you want just because you are grown, okay? Now, there will always be consequences to choices that we make. Y'all ain't saying nothing, but it's true anyhow. There will always be consequences, okay? So what do I need to get you guys done today? What I'm hoping I can get across to you today is that if you do whatever you want, whenever you want, if you don't consider those you are connected to. Can I go back to my story a little bit for a minute? When I was out there in the streets, there were certain things that I could not do because I was attached to Edna McKeever. Joseph McKeever. And if they found out I was doing certain things, it was gonna be hell to pay. And so a lot of stuff initially I would do under the disguise of nightfall. Yeah, I'm talking to where I knew that all their friends and people that they were associated was far gone asleep and wouldn't see me out there doing this stuff. My point is, I knew that I was connected to somebody, and I couldn't just do what I wanted, how I wanted, when I wanted, and certainly not and let them find out about it, you know. And so you should always be surrounded, or should always have people in your corner, in your circle, that are attached or associated with you, that will cause you to think about them before you just do things. Hold on for a second, y'all. Okay, okay. A lot of times you want to tell your boss about himself, herself, his mama, her mama, they aunties, and even they dog, cat, bird, and fish. But you didn't do that because you knew you had 3, 4 little mouths at home that needed to be fed. And if you were to tell your boss what you really felt and how you really felt, it would result in, if not jail time, maybe even the loss of your job, if not jail time, I should say. And so you refrain from saying what was on your mind because you can't do what you want when you want, because there are people who are depending on you. And so, what good is it to be a dead hero when you can be an alive mentor or something of that nature? What I'm saying is, don't go out trying to be the hero, but live so you can continue to be the one that guide people to victory. If that makes sense, does that make sense, or am I like way off on this morning? Maybe it was the Danish that I just ate and it's got my whole thinking all messed up. But all I'm simply trying to say is, you cannot do what you want when you want all the time. Now there might be that occasion where this is my season, this is my time, this time, and I'm not saying that you cannot treat yourself and you can't do the things that you want. But what I'm saying is that whatever it is that we do, we have to take in consideration those who we are in covenant with, those who. Okay, let me say it like this: you're watching from either YouTube or Facebook right now, because those are the only two platforms that I'm streaming to on this morning. Okay, and that's your page, right? But you get on there and start saying stuff, and let Mark Zuckerberg or whatever his name is get a hold to it, or whoever the Facebook policers are, let them get a hold of it, the Facebook Pope or whatever. And guess what's going to happen? It's going to result in cyber jail time. Yeah, your account might be paused, or suspended, or whatever the case may be. And so, even though it's your page, and even though you've grown, you still can't just say whatever you want to say and post whatever. Now, I mean, I guess you can, but then there's going to be the consequences. Okay. Uh, it's your Facebook page, your YouTube page, your MySpace page, whatever. But guess what? You still can't post anything, depending on the kind of work you do, depending on the kind of career that you're in, right? Because you can mess around and self sabotage your own career, your own money, because of stuff that you were grown enough to do or to take a picture of and put on your Facebook page. So my point is, you have to be aware of who you are, whose you are, what you're connected to, who you're connected to, what your mission is, what your end game is. All right. Now, my mind goes to Nehemiah, whose end game was to rebuild the city, and he had to do it within a certain space of time. And so, when you've got something that you've got to do within a certain space of time, you've got to walk in what I call or consider strategic strategy. It's one thing to have a strategy, but it's another thing to have strategic strategy. That means your strategy is strategic. Your strategy has strategy. I mean, I'm just saying. And so Nehemiah, he goes and he spies out the city. He doesn't let everybody know he was coming. He just showed up under the disguise of night so he can get an assessment of what was really going on, so he can then determine what needed to be done in order to fix what needed to be fixed within the time frame that he had allotted unto himself. Somebody say something to the preacher up in here on today. I'm simply trying to say is, depending on what your end game is, may determine what your course of action needs to be right now. I give you another example out of the Bible. The spies were sent out to spy out the land. They're caught, or I shouldn't say they were caught, but they were discovered. They were noticed. They were seen. Okay, and so Rahab hides them up on the roof. Now their mission was to spy out the land, not to go up in there and cause any ruckus, not to go up in there and break no necks, break no knees, break no backs, none of that. Their sole mission was simply go spy out the land and report back. The problem with many of people in today's society is they grown and they doing too much. I mean, just because you grown don't mean you can just do anything. Look, let me say this. Let me say this. Just because spandex sells at your local, apparel store, don't mean everybody should go in there and buy a pair. I know you got enough money to buy you several pair, but have you seen what they look like when you put them on? Oh Lord, I shouldn't have went there. But all I'm simply saying is, just because you can doesn't mean you should. I'm gonna get myself in trouble on today. I mean, I mean to tell you, I like spandex because with the right person with them on, I mean to tell you, my goodness, thank God for the inventor. But just because it complements one does not mean it complements all. I got my homie, he's doing what he's doing and it's working for him. That don't mean it's gonna work for me. I mean, I can respect what he got going on. I can appreciate what he's got going on, but I got to run my lane. You see, his end game is different than mine. I mean, I was married. I ain't got no little kids no more. Both my kids grown. I got a little pretty little grandbaby, but we can love on her and send her back home. So, my point is, I'm married, so there are certain things that I can't do that my single folks can do. Now, I'm not saying that it's sinful. I'm not saying that it's harmful. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but it's not becoming for a married man to do and hang out in certain places that single people can. Do you agree or am I off? Somebody help me out here. 980-222-4492. Can you do whatever you want to do? We all have to give an account to somebody. When was it? It might have been day before yesterday. I'm not sure which day it was, but it was either here or during church. I don't remember which two. Sometimes these things just kind of, bleed together. But I do recall saying, as we were talking about the situation, that number one, we cannot just do what we want to do, but every man's way is right in his own eyes. Every man's way is right in his own eyes. And but here's the deal. We must give an account for every idle word. Every idle word. And I think we can even include actions. So in other words, your works, they're gonna tell on you. Yes, sir. Yes, Lord. They're going to tell on you. We can say a lot of things, and a lot of things we say may be very convincing. Case in point. Oh, Retro, I love you, bro. Oh, Retro, I got your back. Oh, Retro, I'm gonna be there for you. And I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. But I'm watching for the fruit of what you say, and not so much the words of what you said. I'm just saying. I'm that kind of dude. If you say it, I'm gonna take you at your word. Because why should I make you out to be a liar? That's your job to or not to do. I can't make you out to a liar. In other words, you say something, I'm nah, he lying, he lying, he lying. It's not my job to do that. But what I will do, if you say it, then I'm going to look for the proof. If you say it, I'm going to look for the fruit. You can tell a tree by the fruit that it bears. An apple tree cannot produce oranges. An orange tree cannot produce berries. You understand what I'm saying? So if oranges are on those branches, I don't care what you say. You can go and spray paint them red. Those are oranges. They might be red oranges, but they're oranges. I know what an orange looks like. Now check this out. You may get an orange seed, a pumpkin seed, and an apple seed confused. You might not be able to distinguish them from themselves. In other words, you got a handful of seeds, and I did this analogy one time during a sermon. You cannot tell the difference based on the look or the feel of the seed. But what you can tell is when the seed begins to bear fruit, because seed always produces fruit after its own kind. Ain't no way in God's green earth you're going to plant apple seeds and daggone pumpkins pop up. It just ain't going to happen. And even if the seeds was in a bag that said pumpkin, and you pump them seeds into the earth, and by faith, you're waiting on your pumpkins to come up. And next thing you know, you see tree come up and you see apples come from the tree. Even though you had faith for pumpkin seeds, or for pumpkins from those seeds, you got apples because those were not pumpkin seeds. They were apple seeds. So stop making people out to be a liar. Just believe the truth that they solidify. Now, if they say they got your back, believe them. And when they don't have your back, believe that too. Okay? Yeah. I don't have time to be going around keeping record of what lie you told. I don't have time or energy or the wherewithal to do that. Okay? But it's so much easier for me to just look and see the fruit. And okay, all right. So that whole part right there, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot do whatever we want to do whenever we want to. And if that's your MO, if that's your mode of operation, come on, somebody. If that's your way of doing things, okay, then, man, I really do feel sorry for you. I mean, I get it. There are some people who are not attached to a lot of people, but everybody's attached to somebody. You said, well, the only one I was attached to, they dead and gone. Well, you're still attached to the memory. You're still attached to their legacy, some shape, form, or fashion. And so at my father's, as I did my father's eulogy, I told the people, I said that his legacy will live on. Yeah, Joseph McKeever Sr. has passed from earth to eternity, but his legacy will live on. And so, even though he's not here and I miss him daily, come on, somebody, but there are some things when I get ready to do, I think about my father. I think about his memory. I think about his legacy. And even though I'm no longer physically attached to him, I am still attached to his memory, his legacy. Come on, somebody, and what he has left behind. And so, there are some things that I will not do based on the attachment, based on the relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise for Tiffany in the building. Tiffany Livingston, she said, speak, brother, speak, speak, speak. I'm trying, girl. I was a trying, man. And so, ladies and gentlemen, saints and angels, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, if you are living that kind of lifestyle where you're grown and you know, it's all about you, I beseech of thee, I beg of thee, please reconsider. Please reconsider. You still a man. It don't mean you're no more a man. It doesn't make you less of a man. As a matter of fact, it makes you more of a man. There was a time my wife told me one time, where she felt as though I just did whatever I wanted to do. And I was kind of hurt that she felt that way, but it caused me to reevaluate some things because we should never just do what we want without considering. Even if your mind is already made up and there's no way it's going to be changed, give them the respect to at least make them aware. Look, babe, look, homie, look, bro, look, sis, it's getting ready to go down. And, I just wanted you to hear it first from me. Okay. At least that. I'm just saying, man. And so, as a result of that, things begin to change. And of course, none of us are perfect, but we can never be perfected if we don't acknowledge the fact that we are not perfect. We all got some issues. Every last one of us, if you're watching this morning or if you're watching by the replay or whatever, guess what? You got some issues. You got some issues. But issues are not necessarily problems. Sometimes your issues can be your best friend. And what I mean by that is they can help you get to a place that you really need to get to. If you would only acknowledge your issue, okay? God does not have a problem with your issues. He already sent the remedy for your issues. He said that we can. Good morning, Amy. How are you doing, woman of God? God bless you. Thank you for pressing play and being a part of the Retro Philosophy Show on this here morning. We thank you for taking time out of your day to press play. Thank you. She says, well said. And so we, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, we have to make sure that we are casting, as Jesus told us to, all of our care upon him because he cares for us. He said, you cannot fix what you don't acknowledge. And good morning, Retro. Well, good morning, Shaquila Bussy. How you doing on this here morning? On this here morning, I hope all is well. But yeah, it's just like the proverbial ostrich. You see danger, you see a problem. What you do, you stick your big head in the sand. Some of y'all ought to thank God for your big head. Your head was so big it couldn't fit in the sand when you tried to stick it in the sand. Let me stop. But the being honest though. We cannot be like the proverbial ostrich and stick our head in the sand. And now because I don't see it, I'm safe. No, you are in more danger. At least if you see it head on, you can at least bob and weave, for crying out loud. But you done stuck your head in the sand. Now your back hind side is all exposed and good Lord, you can't even see what's getting ready to come. You can't even see what's getting ready to take you out. You're going to take me out. You're going to look at my orbital sockets as you take me out because I'm going down fighting. I ain't sticking my head in no sand, My cousin, bless her, God bless her, Dr. J. Slays. You guys can find her on Facebook and everywhere else. As a matter of fact, I think we got some of her stuff here. We'll share that with you here in a little bit. But she did a live the other morning entitled "Get Your Fight Back." Oh man, it broke me. It broke a boy down. It broke a man down. It broke your boy down. Okay, but it was a powerful word, man. Get your fight back, and you'll never get your fight back with your head in the sand. Nope, you got to acknowledge your issues. and then fix them before they become problems. Because issues are to problems as a sapling is to a tree. In other words, issue, sapling, tree, problem. The Bible says that you are to bend the sapling while it's a sapling, because when it's a tree, I never, listen to me, I ain't never seen nobody bend a tree. We took this course in school. At the time, I might have been going to, was it Duggan? I think it was Duggan Junior High School I was at. Um, I'm trying to think if it was Kensington. But nevertheless, it was a course called Echoes, and they would take us, in this case, out to Forest Park, which was a big park in Springfield, and they would teach us survival skills. They would teach us how to build lean-tos, and if we were ever to be separated or stranded somewhere, they would teach us the fundamentals of survival. Okay. Now, one of the first things they teach you is, which trees or berries or whatever are edible and things of that nature. I can recall those white trees, birch trees. They explained to us and showed us that those trees, the bark of it, you rip off that bark, and it's flammable. It's I shouldn't say it's flammable, but it will ignite quicker than other bark. So those were things they would teach us, and they would taught us how to make a fire. And things of that nature. And I liked it when we got to the part where they taught us how to make a lean-to. Okay. Now, there were little trees in the forest that you could find that were saplings. They were still bendable. Okay. You could pull on that tree. And you could tie it down. You can bend it, and then you would tie it. And so because the tree was young enough to still be bendable. Okay. But ain't never, ever, 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 ever have I seen somebody bend a tree. I'm talking about a full grown oak tree or whatever, dogwood tree or anything. Now you bend it, you think you bend it, but it's going to snap. And when it snaps, it's going to be dangerous. Okay. And so I say all that to say, work with, deal with, confront, address, speak to your issues now, while they are still bendable, while they are still pliable. Come on, somebody, while they are still able to be dealt with in a safe way. Because if you don't, I promise you, it will turn into a problem. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and to destroy. If you let him ride, he's going to want to drive. And if you let him drive, he's going to take you further than you wanted to go and keep you longer than you intended to stay. Just don't let him don't pick. Somebody put in the comment section, don't pick up any hitchhikers. As a matter of fact, in some states, it is illegal to pick up hitchhikers. Some of you right now could be arrested for illegal activity because you have picked up way too many hitchhikers, and you should have let them off at the very next truck stop or whatever. Matter of fact, just put them out in the middle of the highway. Should never picked them up to begin with. My God, Amy says, you are reading my mail. Praise God. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we've got good hearts and we mean well. But again, what is your end game? Okay. And depending on what your end game is, whatever it is that you are engaged in right now, I want to calm down. Whatever it is that you are engaged in right now, it could jeopardize your end game. And sometimes your end game must be more important than your current comfort level for whatever reason. Because as I once told my children, you do what you gotta do so you can do what you want to do. Okay. I don't want to do this right now, but I've got to do it because of the end game that I'm after. Okay. And if I do not accomplish my end game, then all my living has been in vain in so many regards. So, yeah, I don't know how you guys feel about that one right there. But again, some of us could be arrested for illegal activity because we have picked up way too many hitchhikers. Okay. And now you realize you picked up a hitchhiker, and you need to get rid of the hitchhiker, but now you feel guilty leaving them in the middle of nowhere. Well, they were in the middle of nowhere when you picked them up. So I'm saying, that ain't your concern right now. Look here, man. Now we can't do what we want when we want, but sometimes we do have to get to a point where we understand that we are more important than them. And I'm not talking in terms of division or anything like that, but look at here. My peace of mind is more important than your happiness. And if your happiness costs me my peace of mind, then I can't afford you as a friend. I can't afford you as a confidant. I can't afford you as an associate. I can't afford you, period. Okay? Period. God bless and good morning, my brother. Warrior of the One. What's going on? How you doing, sir? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's my man, Mr. Gonzalez. As I'm gonna go out on a limb. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay. Phone call came in and knocked my camera right on off the daggone platform. That's okay. We'll go ahead and retrieve it by doing this. And we'll be back to cooking with gasoline, as we would say. Let's see. Okay. So, Beverly, good morning to you, woman of God. Thank you for pressing play and being a part of the Retro Philosophy Show. Let me. Okay. So that whole part right there. And so we were correct. That is Luis Gonzalez. How you doing, sir? Hope all is well with you and yours up there in the New York area. Brother, the Spirit is speaking through you right this minute. Preach, don't mince your words, brother. Well, God bless you, Amy. We appreciate that. And, I was sharing with someone the other day, it is not easy getting up here every day. Sometimes we feel as though we're being redundant. Sometimes we feel as though it's not necessary. Sometimes we feel as though we're just running our mouths. But if one is blessed, if one receives something, then it was well worth it. And so we thank you very much. So since I'm instructed not to mince my words, let me hop back on the vein of thinking that I was on, and let's try to work with it a little further, okay? Because we pick up hitchhikers along the way, and we have to be careful because here's the deal. The Bible speaks about picking up a serpent that was frozen, and a frozen serpent cannot hurt you for one reason, because it's frozen. It's not doing what it's going to do only because it can't do what it's going to do. But the moment that little booger unthaws, it's going to bite you. And then you're going to be sitting there looking like dumb Smo saying, why did it bite me? And it's going to look at you and say, because I'm a serpent and that's what I do. It's just like when people go and they get these wild animals and they raise them as pets. But it's only a matter of time until their internal instincts begin to kick in. And so I often say grimy people do grimy things. And when grimy people do grimy things, then you've got to say, thank you, Lord, for letting me find it out now and not further down the road. Okay. And then you cannot walk in condemnation for what they did. We've got to stop letting people do us wrong and then victimize us for them doing us wrong. Huh? They will have you second guessing who you are. They will have you second guessing your purpose. They will have you second guessing your calling, your anointing, your everything. They will have you second guessing everything. And all you got to do is just let it go. I was talking to somebody the other day and I brought up something that had happened in the past and they said, denounce it. Huh? Denounce it. And real talk, sometimes we have to literally open our mouths and denounce some things. Yeah, sometimes we have to verbally say, I'm not going to be anybody's doormat any longer. Now, that does not mean that you go to the other extreme and you become extremely bitter and antisocial or anything like that. No, if you do that, then the enemy wins. That's how he, steals, kills, and destroy. He already stole your joy. Don't let him kill your spirit too. Because if he can steal your joy, kill your spirit, you're destroyed. So don't let the enemy steal and kill and ultimately destroy. So I was hurt by so-and-so. Let me pause. Hurting people hurt people. So if you were ever hurt by somebody, then you need to stop and realize they are hurting, which is why they hurt you. And when you can do that, see, healing cannot take place until understanding is apprehended. Okay. In other words, until you walk in a certain level of understanding, you cannot be healed. And so that's why we have to pray when we go through different things and ask God to help me understand. I was going through some things as a young Christian, and it was detrimental. It was it was almost life shattering. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It was bad, and I began to take on the responsibility of what was done to me. Because see, okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. Maybe we'll talk about that in Retro's philosophy on that platform. But anyway, I began to take on the weight of what was done to me. So I was victimized, and then I was caused to bear the weight of me being victimized. It's almost like I'm funding your campaign to kill me. I'm going to financially pay for it. Then I'm gonna emotionally pay for it. But anyway, so the Lord began to talk to me, and He began to show me some things. And sometimes we are so hurt that we will not take heed to wise counsel. We will not take heed to rational thinking, because as we talked about last night during Bible study, our emotions are so involved. Now, we are emotional people, but the reality is everything pertaining to the child of God should be governed and led how? By the Spirit. Let me be specific, by the Spirit of God, because a lot of us are running around here with spirits in us and on us, but it's not of God. Okay, I'll get back on track. What was I saying, guys? And so the Lord He gave me an analogy. He gave me a couple of analogies through a vision, and it allowed me, I should say, it benefited me, the understanding as to what was going on. And once I began to understand, I no longer looked at it as my fault or even necessarily their fault. And I was able to process it differently because of understanding. And therefore, healing began to take place. And I was able to move on and let it go. Because sometimes we're hurt, but we're the ones that won't let it go. It happened, and we're the ones that won't let it go. Because we can't believe that so and so did such and such to me. All I done for them, and I picked them up when they was in the middle of the highway, just a hitchhiker. And I picked them up and turned the heat on high so they can get warm. And I didn't ask them for no gas money. I didn't ask them for for nothing. And they did this to me. Well, grimy people do grimy things. That person is grimy not because of who you are, but because of who they are, because of what they experienced, because of what they went through. And when you really stop and look at it, it makes you feel sorry for them and not for yourself. And so I no longer look at them, as an enemy, because they're not an enemy. They're hurting. Yeah, I got hurt because they were hurting. But because I understand what's happening here, it's okay. Let me put it to you like this. And I need for you guys to talk back to me. Anybody have a dog? If anybody's watching that has a dog, raise your hand in the comment section or put a doggy dog in the comment section or something like that. And if you don't have a dog, do you like dogs? Because some people like dogs, they just don't have one, for whatever reason, living situations or whatever. There was a TV out called Pitbull and Parolees. And they were just what it sounds like. People who are on parole. All right, Amy has a pet. Okay, has a dog. People were on parole, but they would use the animals as a tool, if you will, to do a couple things. See, some people get in trouble because they have no sense of responsibility. Y'all miss me. Y'all missed that. And so now these parolees have a newfound responsibility. They feel a connection with these animals for whatever reason, and they're not going to just do certain things anymore because they now have a valid connection with something that needs them and something that makes them feel as though they're necessary. Okay. And so anyway, my point is, on one particular episode, they went to get a dog, and the dog was real vicious, but he was really only vicious because of his living conditions, because of what his current master or owner was doing and treating him. Okay. And as a result, no, we are getting it. Oh, she said, no, we are getting it. You're hitting it. Well, praise God. Praise God. And so the dog would react, or should I say respond? But either way, he was very mean. He appeared to be very vicious, right? And so when they went to get the dog bit one of the people. but they didn't blame the dog. Yeah, they were bleeding, it was hurting, but they understood if this dog was under different conditions, he would have never done this. And so they did not take and euthanize the dog. They did not take and say, forget it, we're gonna leave it in this horrible condition. No, no, no. They understood that the way that dog was acting was only because of how he had been treated. Listen to me, folks. There are some people who have hurt you, who have hurt us because they're hurting. Now, they're not going to let you know that they're hurting. They're going to try to make you believe that they're perfect and you're the one that has a problem because they don't have the guts to face their issues, nor have they faced their issues. And now their issues have turned into problems. And you have just witnessed their problem firsthand. They've bitten you. And so what they did was they were patient with that dog and they kept reassuring the dog. Now, as it relates to you reassuring someone that keeps hurting you, I'm not going to deal with that right now. That's between you and your God, because you bite me one time, 2 times, 3 times. I'm just going to be a little honest. I still need the Lord to work on me. But anyway, they were able to win that dog over. That dog finally understood that they were not there to hurt them. And so the dog was able to be rehomed and became a productive pet, making someone else very, very happy. Okay. So many of us have been hurt by people who are hurting. And that was the only way they knew how to express themselves. That was the only way they knew how to articulate. That was the only way they knew how to express, was by making you feel what they feel. And sometimes people do that because if you feel the way I feel, then you would understand where I'm at and you would understand the urgency of my situation. Now, that's a twisted process of thinking, but that's the way some people think. If I don't know what happiness is, how can I give you happiness? This is all I can give, griminess. So I'm going to give you the best griminess that I've got. It just for me, I think it just takes too much effort to be grimy. I was running some errands yesterday, and I was in a chill mode. I mean, real talk, I was in a chill mode. I wasn't rushing, and I wasn't creeping either. But I was just chilling. I was doing the speed limit, and apparently some lady behind me in a bright orange Charger was in a rush and was very important and didn't like the fact that I was doing the speed limit. And so she runs up on my rear end. She doesn't hit me, but she's all up on me and she's frantically, making motions and stuff. And then she pulls up on the side of me and she continues to make those motions, right? And I literally just, with a very calm look, I just kind of looked at her and just watched her as she went by fussing, and and at one point she got up on my bumper and she pulls out her phone and she's taking a picture of my license plate, and I'm just like, I don't know what that's gonna do. And so I hit the interstate and I got off. I think it was at the very next exit, and who's right there but her. And it was funny because you got to be careful. Number one, you cannot respond to road rage, and that's the point that I'm making. I was road rage. She was just all frantic and everything, and pulling up beside me and all this and that and everything. And at one point, this guy that I used to know, my old me, said, "Hey, let me out, let me do a few things." And we talked for a few quick moments, and we quickly decided that we weren't going to let him drive. So we kind of smothered him back down to where he needed to be, because there was a lot of things that started going through my mind after I pulled up at her at the next exit. So I went in to get something to eat from the restaurant. And as I walk in there were people there that just, customer service just ain't what it used to be, right? We can we all agree to that? And so I could have let that pile on top of my little, situation on the road there, but I strategically chose to smile. I greeted them, I think, by their name. Yeah, I greeted them by their name. And I was just, and they were looking at me like, why are you being nice? And so before I left, I said, you know what? I was just road raged on my way here. So I'm intentionally being very nice, And so just bear with me if you don't mind. It's what I said to her. And they just kind of laughed and said, okay, and so what did I do? I gave them a little bit of understanding. because some people don't want to be happy. They want to be mad. They want to be mean because they don't like the job that they're doing. Now, I didn't tell you to go get the job. And if you don't like the job, don't come to work. But, anyway, so I guess what I'm saying is we do not have to be the product of what we experience. The songwriter said, I don't look like what I've been through. Yeah, that whole part right there. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, let's make some noise for Jason Jiggis in the building. He says, right, And I want you guys to understand this, and I want you to try your best to implement this. If nothing else, at least consider it, okay? The next time because when you're getting ready to get into a bad mode or a bad mood, or however you want to say it, right? And I get it. Sometimes it'll just happen so quickly, it'll go from 0 to 100, and you just there, but for the most part, we know when we're getting there, and that slice of a moment, we can make the choice. Am I going to be the product of this experience, or am I going to choose to produce something else? Okay. And so do what's necessary. If you gotta, there's a saying, sometimes you gotta laugh to keep from crying. Sometimes you gotta laugh to keep your sanity, and so make the choice to do whatever it is that's necessary to de-escalate the situation. Make that choice, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. You might just have to have a woosah moment and count to 10. You might have to just, begin to recite the Serenity's prayer or something like that. You might have to read your favorite scripture. I mean, you might have to look at your children, a little picture or whatever. Do whatever is necessary, but take control of your situation. Okay. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes until you get to the point where it'll roll off your back like water off a duck's back. My mama used to say that a lot. What's up to my mom, Enda McKeever? She's not on Facebook, y'all, but I'm gonna get her on here one of these days, man. Matter of fact, let me see something here real quick. Let me see what my mama doing. See if I can get her on the phone real quick. She gonna kick my behind. Let me see here. God is good all the time. Who is it that can get you? And when I say get you, can get you back under control. We all need that person, whether you have to, give them a call or whether you have to think about them or whatever. Let's see here. My mama gonna kick my behind. Let me see where we at. Oh, this one. We all need that person, man, and it's good to know who that person is.
Please leave your message for 4.
All right. Well, we couldn't get her. I tried. So Amy says, my mama for sure. Yeah, my mama for sure. And again, sometimes we can't get them on the line, or sometimes we can't get in their presence. But we can begin to think about them. We can begin. Oh, you know what? Obviously, because I'm calling from my show number, and she doesn't know that number. Let me see if I can text her real quick. My mom gonna say, "Boy, what you trying to do? I ain't." Pick up, woman. I'm definitely gonna. I ain't gonna stop until I get it today. But we've got to have that person, ladies and gentlemen, because sometimes, oh man. All right, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna play a quick commercial, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, and then and we'll be right back. And I'm gonna try to get my mama on the line because I want you guys to meet my mother on today. Okay, so keep it locked and don't you dare touch that down. I want you to hear a few words from the one and only Mama D as she talks about her travels to Alaska and a few other things. Keep it locked and don't you dare touch that down.
He's walking in front of me and he says, "Oh my God, you're brave. I said, no, I'm not. I'm trying to get to where I need to go. And he was like, I am having problems keeping my truck on the road. I can't imagine you doing it. And you know what? I've been on 10 so many times. I have never seen, it was so many overturned tractor trailers on that road. And also, too, it's not just the road, but if you need, I said, now I need to get gas. But I had to also figure out which off ramp I'm going to use because off ramps can even be worse because they got that angle. So the first one I see, I'm like, nah, I didn't try that. So I'm going over these bridges. And when you do it,
Ladies and gentlemen, this right here is Mama D. This woman here is phenomenal. She is something else. 60-some years old. She's been to Alaska 10 times on her motorcycle across 3 different motorcycles. I believe she has at least 3 motorcycles that are in the Hall of Fame. And she continues. She is actually the 2023 Titan Award recipient. And she rode her motorcycle from Arizona to Jacksonville, Florida, to receive the award back in February. And she came through some serious ice, and it was great. She came through some serious weather. So let's make some noise real quick for the one and only Mama D. Mama, what's going on?
Nothing. I didn't know. Do you know I am talking?
I know. You don't want no. I was gonna say niggas. You don't want no folk up in your inbox or nothing like that. Guess what, Ma?
What?
I've been trying to get you on the Retro Philosophy Show for quite a while. You know that?
Yes. Well, I couldn't.
I got you live on the air right now.
Lord Jesus.
What's wrong, Mama? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great.
You doing great. You know, I talk about you all the time here on the Retro Philosophy Show, and I'm starting to think that the folks were thinking that I didn't have a mama and that I was lying. Because every time you turn around and talk about mama, my mama said, my mama said, my mama said. You know.
It's good that I can't get your show then. Okay. Mama said, okay.
Yeah, but today we was talking about I do what I want to do. You know, but the reality is we can't just do what we want to do because we're connected to people. You know, and
Right.
I remember years ago, and I know you remember. First of all, I was telling everybody how I'm so glad that not only you were my mother, but you were a praying mother. And had it not been for the prayers, I know I wouldn't be here right now. You know, and
I
so
know.
years ago, and I don't know if Miss Anderson or Hopeton is watching, but years ago when we was out there hanging out and everything, you know, we would wait till the wee hours of the night, you know, because
Yeah.
I didn't want nobody that knew you to see me doing what I was doing and go back and tell Edna, you know. But
I
Mama,
know.
we love you and I really appreciate you. There's so much that you have instilled in me. I'm gonna say this and then I want you to respond because when we were young coming up, you would always say if you can't do for one, if you can't do for them all, don't do for none of them. You know, you didn't want there to be favoritism or you didn't want one to feel left out. But yet and still, you had this uncompromising way of making us all feel like we were the favorite. You know?
That's because I love you each individually.
Yeah. So what was the most difficult thing about raising 4 kids?
Getting you to listen,
Getting them little hard-headed jokers to listen.
especially you.
I know, Mama. I'm so sorry.
Uh,
I mean to tell you,
it's okay.
I had you
And
awake at night so many nights.
I still got scars on my knees from praying for
I'm
you,
telling
boy.
you. I'm telling you. I'm
Mm.
telling you.
But look what God did. He's great.
He's great. He's great. And
When He helped you, He helped me also. He gave me a praying life.
Mhm.
And that's what counts. Making sure you stay in touch with God. I don't care what's going on. If you can't get in touch with God, you are hurting. You need to be able to get a prayer through no matter what's going on in your life. You
Mama,
need to.
I'm 47 years old, right? And that makes you, if I'm 47, that makes you 29, something like
27.
that. 27, okay, 27.
27.
And I can remember as a kid, you doing different things, you know, little jokes and stuff like that. You would tell. I remember that time you told me the joke about the little donkey and everything.
Right.
But my point is, you know, as an adult now, I look back at that stuff and I realize that we were going through some things, but yet and still,
Yeah.
you did not allow us to feel the weight of the struggle. Now,
That's the way
as
it's
an
supposed
adult,
to
I can
be.
look back and I can see it for what it was.
Right.
But my God, Ma, you did an awesome job. We were in the midst of things and we had no clue. We just sitting there laughing and just living life.
Why would I burden you down with something that only God could take care of? I couldn't even take care of it myself. All I had to do was, like I say, constantly be in God's face, get in His face so often until if we talk about uh, naturally, he gets sick of it.
Mm-hmm.
But just stay in His face, stay in His presence. That's what He wants. God don't get upset with us. I don't care how many times we come to Him.
Right.
He don't care. He said, "Come, let us reason together." You know, He's God, and I'm so grateful, so thankful to Him for being able to come to Him. You know, what if we couldn't get to God?
Right.
We'd be messed up. We'd be messed up.
We'd be messed up.
We would be, you know.
Well,
But no, there's no need to put burdens on your children when you can't even fix it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I kept you with trying to make you always have a little joke or something like that. Get your mind off of what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know. Just the way I had of doing things, I guess. Some people probably say, "Oh, she did it wrong." Well, each of us is individuals. We raise our kids according to the way we feel and what we know, you know?
And
There's no book.
There's no book.
right
That
way.
part. And you did the
No
best
right way.
that you could. I
With what
mean,
I had.
as they say, if I knew then what I know now, yeah, sure, maybe something might have been done differently, but I'm grateful for my upbringing. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm the favorite one. I mean, I know everybody knows that.
I hate you all alike. You
There
know
you
that.
go. You used to always tell us that I hate you all the same. But you did a good job, Mom. I'm proud
Thank
of
you.
you. And so I thank you. And we're gonna get you back on the Retro Philosophy Show again soon. So if you see that number come up, you know it's me, and you better answer that doggone phone. You hear what I'm telling you? I'm gonna act like I'm you now. Don't you let me call that phone and you don't answer, because I'm gonna track you down. Oh
Okay,
boy,
babe.
I definitely get my craziness from you. I think, is that true?
That's the only one you could get it from. Your
Oh,
daddy was just too serious.
he was too serious, huh?
Yeah. He
Oh,
never smiled.
Smooth Joe, the Mac.
That's him. That's Mr. Mac.
I see you blushing right now. I see you blushing over
Oh,
there.
yeah,
I
right.
see you
Yeah,
blushing over
okay.
there.
Yeah,
You know you
okay.
loved
Yeah.
you some Joe McKeever.
What else are you going to talk about? I thought we were talking about you.
Okay. All right, Mama. I'm gonna see you soon, man.
Okay.
Like I told you, man, we're
All
gonna
right.
we gonna be up there and come hug your
All
neck,
right.
okay?
All right. Love you
All
much.
right, love you
Talk with you
too.
later.
All right, yep, bye bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, man. Mama was on the line, okay? We finally got her. I knew that's why she wasn't picking up, because she said, "I don't know that number. I ain't picking up that number. I don't know nobody from that number." Hey, man. So it's always good talking with my mama. Like I told you, man, my mama crazy, man, but she's a good crazy. And I was talking with somebody just yesterday, or no, it was actually Tuesday. I'm asked Tanisha who's the favorite. Well, you can't believe what Tanisha said. Listen here, Amy. If you want to know who the favorite is, you talking to the favorite right now. I'm just saying. Well, I tell you that Tanisha, she's something else, man. She's something else. But I was talking to somebody just Tuesday, and I was saying that I don't have a problem with crazy people. It's them sane folk that I can't deal with, because okay. Well, we all got a little cray cray in us, man. If you ain't cray cray, then you ain't got a little cray cray in you, then I can't do nothing with you, man. I just can't. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Retro, man. I'm about out of time. It was great talking with my mom. I think we need to strategically carve out a segment where we can sit down and chat a little bit more. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comment section if you want to see my mom a part of the Retro Philosophy Show, hear a little bit more from her, because I promise you, we got story for days. As a matter of fact, I think that's what I'm gonna do on the Retros, on Retros Philosophy, which is a new platform that I started. I think I might make that exclusive for that platform. I said that I was going to be putting some content on that platform that would be exclusive to that page. And I think that's gonna be it. It is a private page, so you have to request to join, and we're gonna be talking about all kinds of stuff on that particular in that particular private group there. Okay, of course it'll still be clean and holy and all that stuff, but But yeah, it'll be some exclusive stuff over there. And I think that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make that an exclusive for that platform there. So if you would like to be a part of that private group, you just need to go over to Facebook and just type in Retro's Philosophy, not to be mistaken for for the Retro Philosophy Show, but Retro's Philosophy. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and accept your invite. I accept your request, I should say. There's a few questions that you'll have to answer. Look here, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for pressing play and being a part of the Retro Philosophy Show. Make sure you hit the share button, and if you have not already gone over to YouTube to like and subscribe, look here, at least hit that subscribe button. I would like for you guys to help me out with that. I'll tell you exactly where we are right now. Let me pull it up real quick. Bada boom, bada bang. We need to get above 1,000 subscriptions. That's what we are trying to do. And currently we are sitting, oh man, we still got a ways to go. We're not even halfway there. We're looking at 430 subscribers, folks. 430 subscribers. That's a drop in the bucket. I'm appreciative for every one of those 430. But help us, if you would, please, get up to at least 1,000. Once we reach those numbers, there are some things that we can do. It literally will unlock certain features. And that's what we are after initially. But there's a bigger and better and more important end game that we have in view. So we need you to help us get there, if you would. Okay, so just go ahead and hit the share button and tell your friends to go on over and subscribe to the channel. Once again, it's your boy Retro, man. It was a pleasure hanging out with you. I got to make it shake because I got some things I got to do. Until tomorrow, man, you guys be good, man. And just let the Lord lead you. Let him guide you. I know you're grown, but still, you got to answer to some folks, okay? Some people are depending on you, looking up to you. And quite frankly, they need you. Make sure you check us out this coming Monday. This interview on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Son, when I tell you it's going to be off the chain, off the meter, off the chart, yeah, it's going to be that in everything, man. We got the one and only Gorilla Blue, a.k.a. the Mileage Burglar. And we're going to talk a whole lot about that this coming Monday. So keep it locked and don't you dare touch that dial.
Let's go. Let's go. It's the Retro Philosophy Show. You know, let's go. Tell them already we're good, tell them again, them again. Tell them already we're good, tell them again, them again. Conquerors, we're more than conquerors. Wow, wow. Tell them already we are good, tell them again. Tell them already we are good, tell them again. We are conquerors. Wow, wow. More than conquerors. Wow, Retro. Wow. Tell them already we are good, tell them again. Tell them we are good, tell them again. We are conquerors. Wow, wow. More than conquerors. Tell them already we are good, tell them again. Tell them already we are good, tell them again. We are conquerors. More than conquerors. Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you're ready for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go for a ride. Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps up alive. I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight. We bout to level up. Catch us on the turnpike from city to city, state to state, coast to coast. Man, make no mistake, we are conquerors. Yeah, yeah. More than conquerors. We are conquerors, yeah. More than conquerors. Hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show. You know, let's go.